As the final buzzer sounded on the Pistons' 2023 season, two die-hard fans, Mickey and Harry, each passed out and witnessed a vision. They were visited by Detroit's very own mascot, Hooper, the stallion ablaze, who told them the only way the Pistons would ever win a championship again was if these two men started a podcast. To be clear, they said, do we really have to do this? I mean, aren't there enough Pistons podcasts already? It seems like this might be overkill. But Hooper dunked on them, right in their face, and said, your team needs you. He presented them with a prophecy. Now it is their duty to help Detroit rise again and become champions. The Order of the Blazing Horse. What up, doe, and welcome to another episode of The Order of the Blazing Horse, the only Detroit Pistons podcast based on a mystical prophecy. Ooh, spooky. It's spooky season. It's October.
Spooky season, baby. Pumpkin spice lattes.
Are you getting them? Are you union busting? Or you?
I'm not, but I will shout out one Woodward Avenue Institution Dairy Deluxe for the pumpkin shake. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Well before there were PSLs, there was the PSS. And I got to tell you, that thing hits. Oh, we got
Bobby Buckets.
Bobby B. Go Tigers.
Eat them up,
baby.
Shout out the Tigers. And like we said, the only Detroit Pistons podcast is that based on mystical prophecy is loving
Stepped
it.
all over it.
You know, we're blowing it. I'm Harry Morrow's one of the prophets, touched by a horse, not in a creepy way, in a consensual way. I'm joined as always by my co-prof, my co-host the most.
Mickey Jacobs, also touched by a horse, consensual, totally cool, up and up. Glad to be hooped by Hooper.
Mickey, how are you feeling, man? You're rocking the old English D like you were at Detroit Pistons workouts, right? Like,
I know. Those are sweet. The warm-ups, the old English D warm-ups. I just saw those, and Daddy like.
I love the cross. I guess cross athletics team rah.
Yes,
that's going on.
Little collab, yeah.
Super down with it. I've been pouring through my old English D gear over this week, and it all stinks because I've been sweating up a storm because that series has been nuts, and I'm super pumped that they're moving on, and I'm super pumped for us now to be moving on to talking about some real basketball stuff, because Mickey, we're just a couple weeks away from some Detroit basketball. 1 week away from some preseason ball. How you feeling about it, man?
I'm feeling really good. I am thirsty for it. I'll say that. I was drinking up those media day minutes just like a fiend, and it was just getting me juiced, man. It was just getting me real juiced about seeing the boys play together. It feels like the vibes are high. We've got a lot of good pieces. We've got some internal development to look forward to. We got that sweet continuity that everybody talks about so much. I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling like better than last year. How are you feeling?
100% better than last year. Like, everyone's talking about, like, in media today, some of the big messages, like, we're hungry. Like, the big one, we're all hungry. We're all thinking about how that playoffs went, and we want more. Cade's talking about, like, how he knows how he has to condition his body. Asar's talking about how he watched literally every play, and he's like, now I know how to handle defense and, like, avoid getting these foul calls and how to stop Brunson here and there if we meet in the playoff. A little spoiler, before the show, Mickey and I were talking a little bit about that series and the trajectories of these two teams. We'll get into that like a little bit later, but like the more Trajan and JB talk about the internal growth of this team, the more excited I get, because we got to see a little bit of Ron doing that. The teammates of Ron were like, yo, Ron looks good. And when they're talking about Asar, they're like, yo, Asar looks good. And JB called him a nightmare with the ball in his hands. So out of all the things said on Media Day, Mickey, what was one of your biggest takeaways? Let's go back and forth with some takeaways. And if Bobby, you want to talk about a takeaway in the chat, throw us one. And if anybody out there wants to, I don't know, like, subscribe, get on there, get ready for this upcoming season with some Pistons content, some free Pistons content, some hopefully humorous Pistons content, some hopefully jokey Pistons content, maybe some I don't know, educational Pistons content. Where else are you gonna get that? Where else are you gonna get comedy and Pistons talk like we got, huh?
Nowhere else. Can't get the yucks and the buckets. The yucks and the buckets and sometimes occasionally we know what we're talking about.
I know the times we talk about Charles Dickens. So
yeah, then it gets real literary on your asses. But I don't know. I mean, it felt like a very, like, I will say about the Pistons is, like, they all say all the right stuff. You know, the media training feels really like they don't go off book a whole lot. They don't improvise a whole lot. It feels authentic, but it feels just very rote in a good way. Look, maybe they were just responding to media members and sort of telling them what they want to hear, but we don't have Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. anymore. We have Duncan Robinson and we got Karis LeVert, but Duncan's kind of like the pure shooter. And one thing I thought was interesting was Isaiah Stewart, Beef Stew, back, healthy, ready for action, talking about maybe taking a few more threes. And by the way, we were all talking about this. This was a topic last season. He spent several seasons working on that outside shot, got it up to 38. And then last season, he did not take that many, but had his most efficient season around the rim, was up there in terms of shot blockers off the bench, and had a great season. So whether he takes a whole lot more or just, takes a few more, great. I just think we're going to need it. I think we're going to need some of those shots, but I love him down low. What was there anything that jumped out at you?
Yeah, but I know, but I want to keep talking about like the shooting, like the big shooting. One thing that's like super exciting about that for Stu is, like, we know he can shoot. Everyone knows he can shoot. So if he starts shooting more, that means that one of our best screen setters will be in like the second unit, and he'll be setting screens for Duncan Robinson, who is probably the best 3-point shooter on this team. Historically, one of the best 3-point shooters the Pistons have had in a long time, historically better than Malik Beasley, just as an FYI. Check the stats. So I ain't too worried about it. But not only is he setting screens to get shooters open, but because of how he played last year, he can roll to the basket and finish pretty damn well. And now if he's popping out, that's going to open so much mystery for opposing teams to deal with. And we're talking about second units on top of it. So it's going to be a scramble for them. And that's thrilling. That's just thrilling to have. And then when we're on the topic of stretch bigs, what did Duran say in his media day press?
Yo, I got a little sneak peek of the chat. First of all, what up, Trev?
Welcome
back, Trev dog. But I didn't watch I watched a good hunk of those interviews, but I did not see JD. I saw Bobby B post about it just now in the chat. Is JD talking about taking some shots?
He's talking about taking some fucking jump shots. He said he's got the green light to take some jump shots, which I don't know if it's like jokey that he's saying that, but we saw the workouts and like he said it. Like even if the question was asked about it, I would love to see it. Bobby, I believe on Blue Sky, if you're not following Robbie Belton, please do. He's Robbie Bettelin. My bad, dude. I've been saying Bettleton, but it's Bettelin. So give him the follow right for
I for sure
thought
Bad
Boys.
Two bets are bad.
Sorry, but we know him as Bobby Buckets. He's on the show as Bobby Buckets. Shout out to the armchair GMing game back in the day. But like, I believe you made the comparison to like a Bam Adebayo type of development, which they're both great screeners, much better. Like Duran is a much better screen setter this last year than he was the year before. Like the amount of offensive fouls from screens dipped big time. They're both good passers, like pretty solid. And was it 2 years ago Bam started stretching? Why not get Duran out here at least dealing with the stretching a little bit? I mean, it'll be at the cost of his rebounding because you're further away from the basket, but like keep people on their toes. So let's see what we got. And if this organization as a whole, if this coaching staff as a whole is like, yo, we're going to try stretching with our bigs a little bit more. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that one bit. Why not find out? Why not find out in this whole process? So super exciting on that end. So the one thing that, not the one thing, but the first thing I want to talk about from media day, and this is another thing that Robbie brought up. He says Azar's hype train, which has been going through. This is more what Azar said that I'm super hyped about. He kept using the word, and this was not like a word that somebody brought up and kept repeating. This is one word that he brought up that he kept repeating: aggressive. He wants to be more aggressive on offense. And yo, that has me super excited. That's got two Azar spins and drives to the basket in my eyes. The speed up play or whatever, the spin cycle that like broke the internet's brain last year. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I also, what's that jersey hanging behind you? What's that? Who's that? Oh,
number 9?
That's not that's the dude.
That's the dude.
By the way, like for all of the like Jalen Duren's grown 3 inches in the offseason. Azar does look big. For all the like hype about like everyone growing 7 inches in a summer. Like I will say Azar looks yoked.
I'm jacked. Like if the hype from the player, because you can see it on their faces that like Azar is what's up. Ron said that he wants to learn from Azar by like watching plays like right after the game, like really getting into it. We were talking a little bit just off camera about like someone having that Kobe in him. I think Azar has a little bit of that Kobe in him, where it's like obsessed with the game, and he loves the game. His middle name
is Excellence,
right? Excellence.
They're so Kobe. Like their training and their like attitudes, like they're in a good way, in the good part of Kobe pilled. But no, I see that for sure.
It's the first, like Robbie said, the first off season for Azar, like as a whole. I'm so excited. I'm excited at the prospect of how many ball handlers, because this is another thing I feel like people kind of slept on is during Summer League, during one of the games, Trajan was being interviewed on the sides, and he was talking about how he sees Ron Holland as a secondary like playmaker, secondary ball handler. And in Summer League, outside of the shooting, the first thing that we said, shout out Trevor Browning. Dang, here he's got a Langston Galloway jersey on the wall. Would never. No shade to
What about the custom shoes? The custom shoes? Anyone remember that?
No, I really don't. Well, let me pull those up here. I'll find them when you're talking at a point. We'll bring them on screen. But like,
got him.
Oh man, I totally lost the point. I was like, that he sees Ron as like a secondary ball handler. We know Harris was a point guard, and he has like this ball handling, and the amount that Sasser is talking about learning from Dennis Schroeder, and JD's talking about learning from Dennis Schroeder, and Sasser, I want to talk about Sasser in a little bit, but like we have more guys taking the ball out of Cade's hands when he needs some assistance and feeling confident. I feel like the level of confidence is like up with these lads. And yeah, we lost some key players, but that they weren't going to come back and be bench players. Like they weren't going to be like secondary type players. And our players that are developing, Ron, Azar, Duren, Sasser, these players are going to step up into more important roles, which is what you wanted out of them anyway. So I'm thrilled about that. How are you feeling about the Azar offseason?
I feel great about it. I mean, the minutes, I mean, I remember that Sixers game where Cade sat and Azar was running the show. I mean, first of all, like I had heard like from OTE that he had ball handling experience, and like that was something that he is fine to do to like be the engine of the offense. But I had never really seen it. It looks really good. He's a really good decision maker, and he's just so twitchy. And yeah, I've got really, I don't want to just like jump from Azar because I think he's got such a high ceiling, such a high vert. And we got Fred Vincent. I'm not saying I expect him to like necessarily crack like 30. I mean, it would be so cool if he could crack 30% from 3. But like, you know, we're even talking about big spacing. Like if JD's like popping occasionally and taking a shot, like, yeah, you lose the rebounding, but guess who's down low? Taking the elevator to the rim, Azar. Like, you know, they've got them occupying different spaces might not be such a bad thing. I think it's an incredibly versatile team. And I think the ability to have so many ball handlers. Like there may not be as much pure shooting as we had last season, but I feel so much better about, say, like Karras and Asar and Ivy handling than I did like THJ and Malik. Like they're great off-ball shooters and they're great at their role, but there wasn't really anyone else Cade could trust until we got Schroeder. And Karras is, I think, a better defender than Schroeder. He's bigger. And I think he's more of just like a pure bucket. Like Schroeder was a lot of fun to watch and he was really skilled, but up until the playoffs, he was not efficient.
No.
And he was still valuable just because we needed someone. So, do we have a pure point guard off the bench? Not really, but we have more than capable dudes. Asar, I feel like, is like right up there after Ivy as like, one of the lead ball handlers that we'll go to. But I've also just like, it's no secret, I've got super high expectations for Ron. I just think the dude is impossible to ignore.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Also, shout out to Asar, said the 3 things that he worked on heavily were his handles, number 1, his shooting, number 2, and his finishing, number 3. He said I've worked on everything, but those are like the main 3.
That's it.
Great. fucking great.
Yeah.
Do you have another point from Media Day that you want to talk about at all?
Trying to think about
while you're thinking about
what was said. Oh, I'm you know what I'm excited for?
Here's one example.
Who could forget? God, those are sick. You know what I'm excited about is like one of the things we're missing from last season, assuming we don't get Malik, which I think he would still be welcome in that 15th roster slot. He was such a big part of our vibes. And I'm really excited that Karras and Duncan have that Michigan connection and just that they're friends. Mm. And I think they're going to fit right into the locker room. And they just seem like really good vets, like in the way that Tobias was a great vet, in the way that Beasley was a great vet, in the way that THJ was a great vet. Like, shout out Trajan for not just bringing in like, oh, we need shooting. We'll bring in someone who can shoot, but just bringing in guys who are down with their roles, nurture the young guys. So I just think that like vet leadership and that pre-existent relationship is going to serve the young guys quite well.
I'm here for it. JB has history with Karras. He's one of the best guys I've ever like coached. And the word he used to describe him was adaptable. And that like whatever the role was that he needed him to play, he'd play. And that's what Karras said in his like media availability today. He's like, I'm here to do whatever they need me to do in whatever role. And that's what I think is like so great about signing him. And like, I know some people are like low on him because it's like not an exciting signing, but he's such a utility piece for a team that like thrives off of having this sort of diversity, like this ability to be diverse as far as like players go. And he's big and he's ball handler, he's a wing, he can shoot sometimes, he's a menace on defense when he wants to be. He could score 40 points. He has scored 40 points. He started, he's come off the bench. He has the right attitude for this position. And Duncan's coming from the same place. He came from Heat culture, right, which has more even negative energy, into a place where everyone's excited. And he's like, I've never been asked this many questions, like by people and stuff. Like that's a thrill. That's why I'm like, I'm not sweating the losses so much. And yes, Malik would be like, welcome back, and there'd be like great vibes. But like, this team doesn't need the same sort of like veteran leadership from like not their young core as they did last year, because now the young core has experience. Like Stu is in his 6th year at this point. Cade's in his 5th year at this point. These guys are like near second contracts, on second contracts. They've been to the playoffs. They've seen the highs. They've seen the lows. They know how to lead, and they have everything that THJ and Malik brought them last year. It's not like they're just going to forget about it. They're able to pass that on. Like the majority of this team is here for it and with it. And now the new guys that they're bringing in, the new vets, they're just going to be part of it. They're along for the ride. They know their role. They'll do their thing. And I believe you were saying this before the show, so I'm going to let you talk on it more. Like, you don't even think this team is a finished product right now.
I mean, they're definitely not a finished product, and I feel like they've alluded to that. Also, shout out JB for talking about getting his text down,
yeah,
and just playing the game a little more. I mean, I'm excited. I love JB, but Yeah, there's still so many questions to answer. Like we've got two of our apparently core pieces in contract years. This is very much still in flux. So I think like it was great to see last year have like such a massive turnaround from abysmal seasons just with the pieces that we have. I think we can hope for and expect improvement. And then also we're going to get more, as boring and clinical as this sounds, like we're going to get more data. We're going to learn who fits. We're going to learn who doesn't. We're going to learn like what the contract expectations are. Other people are going to become available. Like, I don't think it's going to look the way this looks now, a season from now. And I still think we're on the rise. So I really want to be able to like look at our team and be like, this is our core team. Like, this is what it's going to be for like the next 5 years. We don't quite have that yet. There are questions to answer, but I'm excited to get the answers to those questions over the course of this season. And, this season, like the narrative last season was like, oh my God, look what they're doing. This turnaround is incredible. And now it's sort of the build on year. And we're going to see, are some guys going to plateau? Are some guys going to just absolutely ascend? Like, that's what I'm excited for, is this new narrative of the cat's out of the bag. The Pistons are competitive. The East is like a little bit of a question. So I think everyone expects they're not going into the Pistons matchups just being like, oh, whatever. They're just going to roll over. They're going to bite.
Yeah. The target's on them, as JB and Trajan were saying, target. Also, the word I was looking for before was versatility, not diversity, although I don't think it's like that far off. And one last thing, speaking to that versatility, Ron in his media availability today says, I like with my size, I can do whatever. I can play 1, 2, 3, 4. That's another mention, this one from Ron, about ball handling, playing the 1. So I think people are going to be shocked by the amount of people who are handling the ball this year.
How many times does Ron rip down a board and just go coast to coast in his rookie season where I'm just like, he is not passing. Like, he is not. This guy is just.
Well, how could you pass if you're the first one down the court?
I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying like he's going like, and that's just, again, like I don't watch college basketball. I don't get super, not that he was, playing college basketball, but I don't get super into the draft and didn't really, I just knew that Ron was like a project wing that can't shoot. And he really melted my icy heart, man. He just, he plays with such fire, and like the way the shot was looking, I mean, even when the shot wasn't falling, it looked good. And with I heard he's been really hitting it hard with Vincent. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited, and just that natural finishing ability that he has too is such a breath of fresh air, because it's not something that a ton of guys on our team do really well.
No, not at all. And sticking on the Ron Holland end of things, how are you feeling about the 9 to 5 potential?
I love it. I love the movie 9 to 5. I love the
Dabney Coleman,
dude, banger. Mm-hmm. No, I love that. Just like there's so much good vibes, like between the Dog Pound and 9 to 5, and like they really love playing with each other, and that means so much. Like we learned last year how much that means. Like it's so incredible. It was like almost like jumping out of like a freezing cold pool into a hot tub. With like the vibes from the previous year to last year, it was like, wait, I didn't know it could be like this. Mm-hmm. I didn't know, like instead of just me like this for an entire season. Like,
and that wasn't a shrinkage metaphor, right?
No, if anything, growth. If anything, growth. It's no. It's just the shock. Mm-hmm. Just the shock.
Dude, I'm so pumped that these guys love each other, and I'm pumped that they're growing, because I'm pumped to see Ron and Asar play together, because the implication, like alone, it's got to be so intimidating to see those two beasts out there on the wings. Like, what are you gonna do about that?
Well, and if you split them up too, that's like what Ron said, like 9 to 5. There's no breaks.
Mm-hmm. Plus,
there's no breaks.
No breaks. Toss in J.I. Asar said J.I. is like the fastest player he's ever seen outside of him. Like, hell yeah. to that, the Giat, J-I-A-T. Let's get them moving on. I cannot wait to see some of this athletic, fast break defensive play from this team. Also, shout out Javante, because they're bringing up Javante and his defense a lot in the media day stuff as well. So, yo, I'm excited. Also, real quick, got to give a shout out to Bo Estes, NBA Bo. He said he is back at 12 a.m. on October 1st. He went under contract with the NBA. So shout out Bo, NBA
Well
Bo,
deserved.
The
Goatmentator.
The Goatmentator, back on track, will continue to bring the highlight voice, highlight real deal Holyfield. Got him. That guy.
Gunning for his job.
Gunning for his voice.
He just got picked up again.
Bo's awesome. He's a great dude. So, shout out to him, and I'm happy for
check out his episode. We had a great time chopping it up with him.
So
lovely
fun.
Guy.
So fun. And if you want to know when people like Bo are on the show, it'd be a good time to remind you to like and subscribe. Is it too early to do that twice? I don't care.
I don't think so. We forget all the time. So ring that bell.
Get up on
do
it.
that. Tell a friend. Hang out. On. Yeah, tell anybody. tell anyone who will listen. Because we got 2 real ones in the chat now, and we're always looking for more. Okay. What else we got?
In the chat, tell us what you want on Langston Galloway's custom shoes, what you'd put on there.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. Because you get Toy Story on there. You get a whole bunch of stuff. We showed Dumb and Dumber earlier on there.
The possibilities are endless.
Much
the
like
licensing
with the Pistons lineup. The 6-8 big lineup, the 2 bigs. I talked about 2 bigs, which I'm not like all about, but like, I don't know.
You mean Paul Reed?
Well, I don't know. There hasn't been that much Paul Reed talk. I don't think that's the name I haven't heard a whole bunch of. But like, we know what's up with Paul. He's great. He does his thing.
He really does.
Mr. Deflections.
Yeah. No, he's a menace. Really excited to have him as the 3rd big. A lot of exciting stuff. Can
we talk Sasser a little bit?
Oh yeah. So Sasser, I just want to say, like, anyone who's worried about the shooting, like, I really believe in Sasser's shot, and I think he's not a liability on defense. I don't think he can guard 1 through 4, but I absolutely think that he can hold his own and takes matchups very seriously. Can
I tell you the 3 names that Sasser brought up that his game he's been watching to like? Sorry, 4, because he mentioned Schroeder, and then he said also Nemhard. Your boy.
Love that.
And I know you love that.
I love that.
TJ McConnell, so 2 Indiana guys, which is funny, and like different Indiana guys, and also Drew Holiday. So, what are Nemhard and Drew Holiday known for?
That D, baby.
That D. I think Sasser's getting more comfortable in his role. He talks about like leading the 2nd unit as a point guard, which I think he will. I think he will still get those opportunities. We already know the boy can shoot. We already know he's got like that fucking Sasmanian devil heat stroke.
Microwave tendencies.
Unbelievable. So if he ups his D on top of that, like, I know Media Day is all for like getting people hyped. I didn't hear a lot of like they're in the best shape of their life stuff. I heard a lot of we're excited for where people are going sort of stuff. And that's got me thrilled. It's got me off the go for Laurie train a whole bunch, because we also heard a bunch of stuff about J.I. How do you feel about like the J.I. stuff that we heard in Media Day, Mickey?
I'm excited. It must have been so hard to sit out like during that turnaround, especially with the way that he was starting. And like, you've really got me excited about J.I. Like, I still think the fit is a question. Like, I think we're going to get a bunch of much needed data this year because, with Asar, Tobias, Cade, and Duran, I think he played a total of 2 combined minutes last season. But I really believe in his ability to be a closer. And you've really sold me on that dream. And like, with the amount of usage that Cade had last year, don't get me wrong, he had some clutch finishes. He had game winner. He had clutch blocks. He was that dude constantly. But you got to share that load. You got to spread it around a little bit. But I don't recall like any super specific tidbits from Media Day. I'm trying to think about like some of the stuff he said, but I can't really remember.
the most important stuff I'm getting is like he wants to be great and that he's 100% healthy. Like the camp is full healthy except for Colby
Jones.
That's it.
Yeah.
Who's not participating in camp. So like, or right now at least, he's got like a minor injury or something. It sounds like Cade's excited to have him back, excited to get working with him. I truly think the most important thing for Ivy this season is to continue shooting a high percentage of 3-pointers and making a high percentage of 3-pointers. The rest, great. It work on. The most important, you have to be able to shoot the three. That's really to me the number one thing. On defense, love you to get better. I think it would be great if you got better. At least you got help on that end. As far as like being a playmaker, we talked about it. Like a ton of people are able to handle the ball. It'd be great if you could do it. No big deal. But if you're going to start, you got to be able to stretch the floor and you got to be able to draw defenders away coming your way. And I think he will. Like it's not like we're going to lose explosiveness. It's not like his shot form was broken or anything. I'm really excited to get these guys all playing together kind of from jump.
Yeah, nobody loves feeding shooters more than Cade. Like when he knows you can knock it down, he's going to get it to you as much as possible. Yeah, I agree with you. I really think just like, and by the way, in the past, the shot has been streaky, but it wasn't last season. I know it was only like, a little over a third of a season, but it looked really good. And I was like, I don't know about Ivy's shot. And he shut me right up. He made me zip it. He made me stop with the slander. He was clutch. He was hitting good shot. I mean, I agree we have multiple handlers, but I care more about the turnovers going down than I do about like him being a guy who can guard the other team's best guard. Like
100%.
I don't expect that. I just want if Cade's gonna be like a semi-turnover prone guard because of all the usage and just because of who he is, I don't want to see guys like Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey like having negative ratios.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's gonna kill us. Like,
do you think Cade's turnover numbers are going to go down? And do you think, if the answer is yes, that in part is because he will not be handling the ball as much as he was last season?
Yes, I do. I do think the turnovers are going to go down. And I think because like whether he spent a ton of time working on his handle or not, I think a lot of it too is like late game exhaustion.
Yeah.
There would be like possessions where it would just be like back-to-back pocket picks, a lot of them from Andrew Nemhard. I think conditioning is going to be big for that. And I think sharing the usage. So even if his assist numbers dip a little bit, which they might not, like he's got a lot. Karis LeVert is a more versatile player than either Tim Hardaway Jr. or Malik Beasley. He's not a better shooter, but he is a more versatile player. And just having guys, and he can score in a lot of different ways and make good decisions, find people. So I think the ball is going to move a lot more, and I think there's going to be a lot more cutting. So even if we're like middle of the pack in terms of 3-point percentage, I think we're gonna be a better offense than we were last season because it's not as Cade centric, which I think is great because I think that'll preserve him for games so that because Cade can shoot and he is good, but just like sometimes by the time it got down to the like halfway through the fourth quarter, he's gassed because he's been doing everything.
Literally everything. Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting to see what's going to happen. It's exciting to have high expectations for this team. It's nice to go into the season being like, I think we're going to compete. And I want to transition now that we're a little bit over the halfway point, probably a little further closer to the 3/4 point of the show. But like, I'm curious where you expect the Pistons to end up this season in the East. You can either give me like the amount of wins, you can give me the seed, you can give me their playoff situation. I'm curious how you feel about it.
I'm gonna give you like a ballpark. Like sure. I can give you like a hard number, but I really think, gosh, I want to say we're going to be either the 3rd or the 4th seed. I'll be conservative. I'll be conservative with this. I'm going to say we're going to be the 4th seed, and I think we're going to win 49 games or 48 games, 48 to 49 games, like
Okay.
that kind of range.
Okay. I'm going to be more homer. I think I'm going to say we're going to be the 3 seed, and I'll say what the seeds are. I think Cleveland will be number 1. I think Orlando will be number 2, and I think Detroit will be number 3, with the Knicks being the 4 seed. And I know people like this is sorry to Knicks fans who listen. I know Doug, you listen to the podcast and stuff, so shout out to you. This is no shade to you at all. And like I know people have like the Knicks up high and they have the Atlanta Hawks up high. The reason I'm higher on the Pistons, and I have a couple reasons. I think they win 50 games, if not more. The reason I'm so high on the Pistons is number 1, continuity. This is the second year with this coach. Number 2, people are like, wow, the Pistons really had a hell of a season last year. They won 44 games. That's really impressive. I don't think they're going to match that, or maybe they'll just get close to around that. The reason I disagree with that is because of how the Pistons season started last year. They were trash. They were like kind of a mess for the first third of the season. And then the second third, they were like, all right, of like over 500. And then the final third, they were great. You think that this Pistons team that is better, that is more fully healthy, that has experienced the playoffs, that took the Knicks to the brink, is going to have 2/3 of the season similar to the first 2/3 of the season they had last year? I think they're going to start out so much hotter, and they have a lot of room to go with that. The third reason I think that the Pistons will finish ahead of specifically the Knicks and specifically the Atlanta Hawks. They don't have the same defensive liabilities in their starting lineup, nor throughout their entire lineup. Like, people are like, oh, Duncan Robinson's not good at defense. Jaden Ivey's not great at defense. 2 players. One of them's on the bench. Like, they have arguably the best perimeter defender in the Eastern Conference, one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. Their backup center is one of the best, if not the best, rim protector in the NBA. The Cade is 6'6". Some people say 6'8". Like, we got Ron Holland as well, Javonte Green, Karis LeVert. Like, Duren is improving and put a lot of emphasis on improving. The New York Knicks have Jalen Brunson and Cat, who they struggled, especially in the playoffs. Is kind of a struggle to have out there because that's 2 guys you can pick on. The Atlanta Hawks, that's great. They got Kristaps for 40 games or whatever he's going to play. Even if he plays 70 games, you still have Trae Young on the court as a defensive liability as all time. And yeah, I get it. You have Dyson Daniels on the team. He's a great stealer. You know how silly Cade Cunningham made Dyson Daniels look? Like, every game, he bullied through him. There's a reason that players who are just offensive threats are not very valuable like they used to be in the NBA anymore. 2-way players are way more valuable. And the Pistons just have more 2-way players than I think these other teams do, with the exception of Orlando and Cleveland on top of it. But specifically when it comes to New York and Atlanta, I think the Pistons can finish ahead of them. And I think Detroit really wants to finish ahead of New York as well. Shout out Trevor Brownie. You want to get the shout out with what he says, Miggy?
Shout out Cade, my 5'1" king.
Outrageous. So I think they'll have over 50. And
heart over height every time.
Heart over height. But like, I get that they lost 3-point shooting, but I think that they've made up for it with the 3-point shooting. I think they have historically a better 3-point shooter, even if he doesn't match that same volume. I also think that the Pistons play basketball a different way than other teams in the NBA do. And I want to quote from one of my favorite songs, Big Bank Take Little Bank. The line is, you ain't ever help your friends, don't talk to me. You just follow all the trends, don't talk to me. Pistons aren't following all the trends. Everyone wants to be about like a 5-out team. You got to shoot the 3 ball. We went over this last episode. Not the teams that shoot the most threes do not win the championship. They did win the championship last year. The OKC Thunder are not a great 3-point shooting team. You don't have to do that. You have to win your way, because then teams have to account for you. And the Pistons are making teams account for them. And I am excited to see what that means in the grand scheme of things, because they're not followers. They're like early Rasheed Wallace. They're trailblazers.
Wow. Bar. Yeah, no, I love that we have an identity. I love that the players that we've added more or less fit that identity. And yeah, we've saw that, good defensive teams are the ones who win championships. As to whether we can be a better regular season team than by the way, I love that you have the Magic higher than both the Pistons and the Knicks. We were talking about this a little bit off air, and I'm curious what Trevor and Bobby think. So we talked to Doug, our buddy Doug, one of our resident Knicks fans.
Also, shout out to Ace.
I'd be curious what she thinks about this too. I think a lot of Knicks fans really feel that Tibbs mismanaged the roster, that he did not utilize the talent in the best way in terms of lineups and minutes and all of those X's and O's. Let's assume that Mike Brown is going to be better at that. He's going to have Cat take more threes. He's going to create lineups that make more sense. Maybe that means benching Josh Hart. Maybe it doesn't. Does that outweigh the compete level that Tibbs was able to get out of those guys? Like, maybe Mike Brown is a better fit on an X's and O's level, but will he have that shiny bald, just angry white man fire?
The shiny bald part.
Yeah. But I'm curious, like, what do you think? Do you think any new blood that's like a competent coach is an improvement, or do you think they're going to miss Tibbs, who kind of got them where they are?
I do think they'll miss some of what Tibbs got for them to get them where they are. I think Mike Brown might be a better coach for the situation, for the sheer ability to use the bench. Like, I think that matters a lot as far as longevity goes.
The bench.
What now? The bench.
I didn't know they had one of those.
I think that matters. I think that matters a lot. And I think their bench got better. I do think Yabusele and Jordan Clarkson are both like legit great bench ads. Mm-hmm. I just don't know how I feel about the rest of their players compared to the rest of the Pistons player. I think OG's sick. Brunson's a dog. There's no doubt about it. And Bridges is hopefully going to have a lot more endurance.
Really sick. Like, he is really good.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was one of my biggest takeaways. Like, besides just the pure shot making ability of Cat and Brunson, which was immense.
Oh yeah.
OG's sick.
He's sick.
OG is really fucking good at basketball.
He's worth the money without a doubt. Like, that was a good get, and he's gotten better at offense. So, like, shout out to him. That's one thing I want to say. Like, we saw OG in the playoffs be like an offensive important player for the Knicks, and we're watching Asar, and we're like, if Asar can get aggressive on offense, like he says, is that a better defender with potentially more explosiveness on offense? Maybe not as good a 3-point shooter, but like attacking the basket and whatnot. Like, hell yeah, absolute hell yeah. Mm-hmm. So I have higher expectations, I think, for the development of this team than I am worried about what this team lost, because I personally think this team replaced what they lost maybe better.
I totally hear that. I just think the concern is, and I'm just going to say this because we have homer tendencies, and I don't want to change. I don't want to not feel the way that I feel. But I think if certain injuries were to happen with like Duncan Robinson and Tobias Harris, I think the spacing would suffer, and I think we would have holes that could be filled, but I think they would be holes nonetheless. And, I think Karras can knock down shots. I think Sasser can knock down shots. I mean, guys outside the starting lineup who could be slotted in well. But I heard something interesting. So anyway, I think these are concerns. I don't want to like wax too much about them because the lineup is the lineup. And,
but I think we should talk about concerns.
Okay.
Because we're always talking positive. So let's share our top 3. If this goes wrong, then or if this happens, then the Pistons are in trouble. What is your number one?
Well, I don't even want to put it into the universe, but I'll say injuries, specifically in the Cade, Duncan, Tobias area. I think those are areas where we lack depth, and I think that would definitely force some shuffling.
Yes, that's number one concern, without a doubt. The most important thing. Essentially, if Cade gets injured, it's pretty much over. But that's the same case for like every NBA team. If your star player's done, you're in trouble. I guess the Clippers were able to overcome that a little bit, but whatever. I wouldn't want to be the Clippers right now. The number two concern is Ivy, Ron, and Asar are not better shooters and are all like sub 35 from three. I think that matters a lot.
Yeah, because I gotta say, I don't think anyone really expects two of those guys to. I mean, I know some people do, but I don't think anybody expects Asar and Ron to surpass 35 from three this season.
Let's say if Ivy's under 35,
if Ivy's under 35,
if Ron's under 30, and if Asar's under 27. Yeah. If those are the numbers,
I'll say if 2 out of the 3 of those guys are under 30, that's not great.
That's bad. Yeah, that's bad.
That's pretty bad. And Ivy, you don't want to see him dip below like 36, really,
right?
Like or 37. And that's assuming it's on volume. Are there any other concerns?
Cade and Ivy's turnover numbers. And let's just say there's a whole team, not because like Dern has turnovers.
Just turnovers in general.
If the turnovers are like averaging around 17 a game,
yeah,
that's trouble. And those are the concerns to me. I don't have concerns about like this team fitting together. I don't have concerns about the coaching. I don't have concerns about the drive. I don't have concerns about like the management. It's the injuries, the shooting, and the turnovers. That's about it.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. In terms of lineups and shooting, I was listening to the Pulse, and I heard Vincent Goodwill on there talking about. Huh?
Real quick, did you see Vincent Goodwill's shirt? He was wearing a Randy Moss illustrated straight cash homie shirt.
Sick.
It was so fucking dope.
So he thought, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought I heard him say that he thinks that Duncan might start.
I've seen some people say that. And
would that be over Ivy, I assume?
Yeah. If Duncan's starting over Ivy, then we're gonna have some conversations, I think, about like where Ivy is on this team. But I don't think he will.
Well, I don't know if it would be like the way I thought, based on what Vince was saying, was like not so much as like he's not good enough to start, so much as he plays starter minutes off the bench because we need a backup point guard, and he's the best suited to that. Like I know it really seems like I was under the understanding that was going to be more of the Karras role, but I will say that Duncan Robinson is 6'7".
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that he's like a great person to guard other teams'
he's
guards.
He's not a good defender.
No, he's not. But he is a pure shooter, and Cade more or less had one of those. I mean, obviously, in a limited sample size, Ivy was a better shooter than Tim Hardaway Jr. last season. Right. But like, would that have maintained across however many games?
It's a great question. I just think like if that's the case, if he ends up starting, then to me that says something about like this team's faith in Jaden Ivey, and I don't think that they have that sort of feeling about them currently. But they might eventually, and if they do, then I really want them to be like Dave Chappelle in Half Baked and go up to Keon Ellis and be like, "Let me see what I got in my back pocket right here." And just toss them a wad of money.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna have like a pure shooter as your 2 guard, they got to be 3-and-D. You got to have 3-and-D, and Keon's also 6'6", so you get like a 6'6" defender, 3-point shooter. No shade to Duncan, can't be starting on my team.
Well, he's on a very I get that, and it struck me. I hadn't heard that before, and I'm not like Vince is wrong. I'm just like, that's interesting. Like that's a pretty big lineup. That's pure shooting. That's a person that Cade is gonna want to dish to. There are holes there, but there are also like benefits to it too. But I mean, again, like this is all just like circling the same sort of idea of like this is an incomplete team. Like Tobias is not going to be starting at the power forward position next season. Like, you know, who knows what the two guard position is going to be? Who knows what Asar and Ron are going to be? But it's exciting. It's exciting stuff. Do you want to move on to a different topic?
Yeah, man. I want to talk about not on this team, but I want to talk about the sixth man in general, because that is our addition for the basketball movie.
Yeah, we talked about Karis LeVert, but let's talk about the sixth man.
The sixth man, played by Kadeem Hardison, if y'all are familiar. And the sixth man is a basketball movie I watched when I was a wee lad, a wee young boy. And the sixth man is so good. I tried my damnedest to go on East Bay, the catalog, before the internet, to buy Washington Huskies gear. And we're talking about well before Brandon Roy. I was trying to buy it because of the sixth man. Mickey, how'd you feel about it? It was the first time you ever seen this movie.
It was so much fun. And Marlon Wayans is so good in it. He's so good. And this is interesting because I feel like this is like the first movie in BMC Basketball Movie Club that we've been doing in the off season that was like more or less like, I mean, not pure comedy, but certainly the most comedic, right? Like this is the funniest movie with like the most gags.
Yeah.
And and there were gags.
Oh my God.
There were many gags.
My favorite gag in the movie, it's just like, it's nothing crazy or anything like that, but the concept of the movie is Kadeem Hardison and Marlon Wayans are brothers, and they're a basketball team, and Marlon Wayans is always assisting Kadeem, who's like the star of the team. They go to college together. Kadeem has Anton is his name in the movie. He has a heart attack and dies on the basketball court, which is tragic. And he's like the best player. Then he comes back to help the team because they're really spiraling out as a ghost, as their sixth man. But he's also messing with his brother's life because they're brothers. And so there's this one scene where he's like on a date, and he's like trying to prevent him from kissing the girl. And like he puts up his hand to block him, and Marlon's like trying to kiss her, and then you just see him on the like glass with his face like all smeared, looking all goofy. And he makes the funniest noises, like. It's just
shout out practical effects, man. There is some good. There's some VFX too. There's some other stuff going on, but that was a great gag. That was really good. I love when he puts A1 on his salmon. That's a pretty good that zesty tangy salmon. But no, he's look. I know I don't have a brother. Always wanted one.
They're great. But brothers, Alex and Dick.
I gotta tell you, Anton really fucks his brother up the whole movie. He's really physically and emotionally, and is it Kenny? Is that Kenny?
A and K all the way, dude.
A and K all the way. Anything is possible. Mm-hmm. He's literally cock blocking him. He's getting in his head during games. He does not want what's best for his brother, but like. Jokes aside, and there are several, I did not like the gag where he inflates his thumb. I did not like that VFX gag. It's like one of the first ones where he like crazy. But, but it's like a really great story about like living in your sibling's shadow and loss and like kind of carving out your own identity, and like that's sort of Kenny's thing. The whole movie is that he's deferential to his brother, and he needs to go and be his own man, and it was really sweet, and he is fantastic in it, and some of the physical comedy that he's doing is unbelievable. It's the gag, you've seen it in other stuff, but his brother's like fighting with him, like wrestling with him, and he's like gotta act like, you know, it's like the Space Jam thing where it's like you're acting with no one there, but he's really great. He's really, awesome. The emotional beats really hit too. Like when he dies, the locker room scene, it's devastating. It's actually really sad. So it not easy to blend comedy and drama like that, especially like when it's like slapstick comedy. But I loved it. I loved it. It beats the hell out of Hoosiers. I'll say that.
100%. And like, I love the cast in general. Marlon really does put on like an amazing performance. It's so funny. It's so heartfelt. He's a really good actor. Shout out to him and his like, his versatility as an actor. Almost forgot the word.
The Karis LeVert of actors.
Yeah, the Karis LeVert. He's like, I'll do my role. He's him, would you say?
He is him,
yeah.
In theaters now.
Mm-hmm. I love the guy who plays the coach. That actor, I think, is so funny and like everything.
Yeah, he's great.
I can't remember his name, but he was just in this Robert Redford movie I watched, Sneakers. He played a young guy in that movie, which is like so funny to see him as a young guy, played by Ben Kingsley as an old version of him. But he's very funny. I love Ziggy. I think Ziggy, the big man with the bleached hair.
Darko of the Darko Milicic of the Huskies.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Big man for the three. Ziggy, you never shoot the three. It's
and
so
he sinks
funny.
it, and he sinks it though.
It's so funny. Well, in that version, he airballs it. The first one, he airballs it. He does sing it eventually. One of my other favorite parts of the movie is where he's like trying to explain to his teammates. He's like, "My brother's here. He's a ghost," and they don't believe him. Right? They just think he's crazy. They're gonna get him committed. And so they take the short, redheaded Irish point guard, and they're like, "Go dunk the ball," right? And he's like, "He can't dunk. You can't do that dunk." He's like, "Just go dunk the ball." So he goes and tries it, and from way behind the 3-point line, he starts flying, freaking out, legs spin and turning, dunks the ball and lands on the ground. And Marlon Wayans is like, "You see?" And he goes, "Well, I have been working out a lot lately."
It's like you doing your vert exercises. It's
like, come on, bro, just accept it.
Yeah.
But it's very fun. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. We won't spoil the ending, but like it's fun basketball stuff. There, the beats hit. The VFX stuff isn't like way over the top. It's just a sweet little movie.
It's really fun, and it's such a like 90s movie, you know, with like one simple leap of faith of like, oh yeah, his brother's a ghost and he's helping him win basketball games. But it is very sweet. It is fun. I mean, he's like cheating a lot though. He's it's cheating not just because he's a ghost, but he's also like goaltending. And stuff like the ball goes in and he'll just like knock it out. It's like, okay, God, do you remember when that happened with Tim Hardaway Jr.?
I had forgotten until you said that, and that's still one of the craziest calls because that's wrong.
It went in, it went through, and then like they usually call that a bucket.
That's a basket.
Usually,
it's definitely not offensive basket interference.
I'm gonna just go look at that later and just get mad. Just
put it on one of Langston Galloway's custom sneakers.
Yeah, never. Where were you? Where were you when Tim Hardaway Jr.'s buck? They did everything to make the Pistons lose that series, and I'm not whatever. I think with Stu or Ivy, things go down differently, but
he's been beef stewing about it.
I really have. I've been beefing and I've been stewing about it. I've still, but you know what? I've been thinking about it. You know, the guys have been thinking about it. You know, they felt they could win that series, and I think they could have. And I'm excited for that chip on their shoulder, whether they're the 3 seed or the 4 seed or whatever.
I seen the braids on these players. That chip is ruffles, dude. That chip is ruffles.
It's got ridges.
Bring it back. All right. So for next week, we'll actually have some basketball to talk about because they'll have played a preseason game. I believe the first preseason game is on Monday, and then the second one is, on Thursday at 8. So we'll try to get this recorded and done before that episode. Maybe record on a Wednesday, maybe record on Thursday. Who knows? We'll see. We'll figure it out by then. And
is it the Grizzlies? Is that the first?
The first game is the Grizz. Let me double check. The Grizzlies at 8 on Monday. The next game is the Bucks on Thursday, and we got to wait a week. Trevor. It is crazy how close the season is. It's just a couple weeks away. It's just a Tigers World Series away. And
speaking into existence,
I'm going to make it happen. And I'm also going to make this happen. I'm going to choose our next Basketball Movie Club movie. And we're going to go
hit me with it.
Another from our early childhood. Maybe not as early. This for me is like high school, I believe. But we're going to go with Love, and basketball because I want to keep the good basketball movies rolling.
Really good, really good. I watched it for the first time within the past year or two, and I would love to revisit it. It's a great movie.
It's great. And, maybe I'll even wear my Love and Basketball outfit because I did buy clothes from that movie.
But you have to. What do you mean maybe? What do you mean maybe you're going to do that?
I've worn the shirt on the show before, but I bought it specifically because I saw it in that movie. Great movie. But we'll be back then. You'll be back then. Thank you so much for joining the show. We'll see you next week. Talk about some actual gameplay. Hopefully they shoot the three better than the Sixers, who at one point I think shot the ball 3 for 36 in the first preseason game. Ooh. Shout out Philly. Shout out Mike Benner.
You think the starters all play? You think the starters all play at least some minutes? No,
I don't think Cade plays a minute in preseason. Why would he? We're the
because I want to see. So for my enjoyment.
No, we're the links to Gatway jersey or else unsubscribe, says Trevor. But yeah, for your enjoyment, save it. We need to save this man.
Wear the jersey, Harry. We need him. We do need you.
Thank you, Trevor, for joining us.
He knows he has leverage.
Trevor, you're a filmmaker, I believe. Shoot me a message off stream because we'll talk some filmmaking stuff in the local Detroit area. I've got a thing going on. Maybe you want to talk about it or not. But we'll see you next week. I've been Harry.
And I'm Mickey.
And we're going to close the show the same way we do every time, which is by saying the acronym for OBH, because that's how a horse would say it. And we know for a fact because we've talked to Hooper and maybe you haven't. But that's that. And everybody...